Part 351. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3501. Fang Fan asked tentatively, with an abrupt expression on his face. It seems that everyone knows this question, and it seems that no one knows. Why are you asking this? Shui Wanren raised his eyebrows and couldn't help complaining. Just a little curious. Is this some kind of secret? Well, we can infer whether we can fight against the Protoss based on our eternal strongest. Also prepare early. Fang Fan continued to ask. I'm just a weak demigod. Among the major forces, there are not too many demigods, but they are not too few, but most of them are quasi-demigods and weak demigods. Strong demigod realm and absolute peak demigod realm are considered to be the top existences. As for the pseudo-god realm and the quasi-god realm, for it, there must be no strong quasi-god realm. But you can't know the pseudo-god realm. The world is so big, the heavens are infinite, who knows if there are any immortals who have lived for hundreds of millions of years under the coffin board. But these don't have much to do with us for the time being. The focus of our attention should not be this. What we should pay attention to right now is whether we can rush to rescue the divine city of the 7th Academy in time, and whether we can defend the divine city of the 7th Academy. Why? Fang Fan, maybe you were right when you said you wanted to investigate the traces of the Protoss. The Protoss has indeed become a serious problem to some extent. If it is not cleared up quickly, it will only cause more and more bad effects. Shui Wanren's face was somber, and while he was talking, his eyes couldn't help flickering all over. It's not too late to pay attention to it now. As long as you're in control of the moment, you'll be fine. Fang Fan shrugged, and then said calmly from the side. This time, the Guangming Academy is led by Wu Meiling and the deputy head of the palace. While Shui Wanren was talking, his eyes couldn't help turning to the Grand Uncle Ji who was beside him. I said this time, why is Deputy Palace Master Wu Meiling so easy to talk about? It turns out that it's because I mentioned that you have to go with me. It seems that our Deputy Palace Master Wu Meiling really misses Taishu Mentor. Shui Wanren raised his eyebrows, and couldn't help but teased his Uncle Ji from the side. Uncle Ji. It's fine for others to say so, you are also a Deputy Palace Master after all, don't you have to pay attention to your image? With my old background, can I stop saying this all the time? Am I so shameless? Is it really not painful to be slapped on the face? Oh shit. Bells. Tai Shuja felt that this piece of crap would follow him all the time. I don't know what will happen in the future. Feeling a bit of a headache right now. My brain immediately buzzed. Play chicken. Nothing. It's all because of you, kid. If you are a good kid, if you don't want to learn, why do you have to learn from that kid by Biao? Taishuji ground his teeth, couldn't help but rolled his eyes and said. Too difficult. This wave of mentality is indeed a bit unstoppable. The sound of breathing gradually became rapid. The mode of thinking display is particularly real. It's very real. The entire Guangming Academy followed suit. Deputy Palace Chief Shui Wanren ordered. Protoss invasion. Everyone is responsible. 500 mentors and 5,000 students will be selected to go to the front line. Guangming Academy has 4 grades, and each grade has only tens of thousands of people. The total number of students added up is less than 100,000. 5,000 students were drawn from less than 100,000 students. It may not seem like a lot, but in general it is not too small. Because Shui Wanren issued another order, students must be above the 3-star sanctuary realm to be eligible to join the battle camp. The 3-star sanctuary, it seems that the realm is not very high, but among the first-year students, basically only 1% of the students can reach the standard. Even among the second-year students, only about half of them could meet this requirement. That is to say, the first grade is basically abolished, half of the second grade is abolished, and most of the students are drawn from the third and fourth grade students. A considerable number of students in the third and fourth grades will be drafted into the army to fight the Protoss. Dangerous. Who doesn't know that the Protoss is extremely powerful? Go up and fight? Hit the hammer? What to fight with? The mentality collapsed in minutes, let alone other things. Home country feelings. Not everyone has it, in fact, human nature is too normal. It is instinct to be greedy for life and fear of death. No. I won't go to death. Go to the God City of the Seven Courts. It's not forced, is it? Didn't I just get beaten when I went up? Oh. I'm not that mean. What the hell, I don't want to die. Bai Piao grabbed the pillar and immediately protested righteously. Anyway, to break the sky, I just don't want to go out. Afraid of death. Terrified. How could I have such an apprentice as you? Tai Shiji's face was dark, and he was speechless at the moment. This wave, my brain really hurts. How many times do I have to tell you this? Must go. The Seven Courtyard Divine City is broken, and the portal of our Guangming Divine City will be gone. At that time, we will directly face the attack of the Protoss. If that time really comes, the newly established Guangming God City will definitely be completely covered by the flames of war. At that time, the situation will only follow the blood collapse. Would you like to see that picture? I've told you so much, why can't I understand? Why? Anyway, you have to fight early and late. It's better to go there sooner. You are a member of Guangming Academy. You carry light and justice on your shoulders. You. Tai Shiji began to attack Bai Piao's soul. Anyway, what I said was a righteous one. Bai Piao's expressionless face. Master, you have said so much, do you believe it yourself? Do you believe in light? Or do you believe in justice? Do you believe in the God of light? Or is it a true believer? You don't believe it yourself, you insist on making me believe it? Isn't this just standing up again? Master, I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. Bai Piao rolled his eyes, and then couldn't help complaining from the side. This blow hits the soul directly. Uncle G wriggled his lips and wanted to say something, but he always felt that something was directly blocked in his throat. I hummed up. What you said is really reasonable. What can I say? Master, it's useless to talk to Bai Piao about righteous things. Well, tell him bluntly, if there is any benefit in participating in the war, it will be fine. Fang Fan shrugged and said calmly. Toss for so long, to put it bluntly, isn't it just for that little thing? In fact, Fang Fan knows very well. Bai Piao raised his eyebrows, and couldn't help giving Fang Fan a thumbs up. The parents who gave birth to me, Fang Fan who knows me. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3502. The good thing. If you kill a Protoss cultivator, their storage ring will be your spoils of war. You should know that there are many good things in the storage ring of the Protoss. There are even fragments of the Divine Stone and the Fountain of Life. One fragment of the Divine Stone is worth tens of thousands of high-grade star cores. A small bottle of life spring water can be worth thousands of high-grade star cores if the auction place is good. If the slaughtered Protoss cultivator has both of these things in the storage ring, it is equivalent to earning 10,000 to 20,000 high-grade star cores at once. Is this business uncomfortable? Why do you hesitate? Such a good opportunity is right in front of you, as long as you grasp it, you can take off directly. Everything will rotate according to your wishes. The corner of Tai Shiji's mouth raised slightly, and then he hooked up. For Bai Piao, Grand Uncle G is still more important. At critical times, it is of great use. Although Bai Piao's combat power is rubbish, but his defense is strong. Even the attack of the demigod realm can last for such a short period of time. If there is any accident on the battlefield, Bai Piao can completely match up with the Supreme Saint. With such combat power, it is natural to bring it. Cut. WTF. The storage ring obtained by the Protoss cultivator I killed was originally my spoils of war. Is there any doubt about it? That's it? Nothing. I thought it was something. Is this the only benefit of the school? It's too picky. No sincerity at all. Bai Piao was stunned for a moment, then couldn't help but rolled his eyes and said, Uncle G. Can you be a little more reserved? What the hell are you talking about? In addition to these, the school and the city lord's mansion will also have some extra rewards for outstanding students. Well, as for how to reward, there is no specific regulation yet. But don't worry, I won't treat you badly. Are you sure you're not interested in the storage rings of those Protoss cultivators? Are you sure you're not interested in those godstone fragments and the fountain of life? If you're really not interested, forget it. After this trip, if you work hard, even if you just pick up some corpses on the battlefield, you shouldn't have any problem getting hundreds of thousands of high-grade star cores, right? Hey, if the truth doesn't come true, there's nothing I can do about it. Then I will take away your quota. Anyway, there are only 500 places for students, and no more will be accepted. Tai Shuji directly carried out a wave of dredging. While talking, the corners of his mouth rose wildly. This time the posture is in place, it seems very real. In a few words, it's too real. Cough. Don't mind. I'm just complaining, but it's not that I won't go. I just want to get some more benefits. Since there are no other benefits, then we should go. I want to shed blood and tears for Guangming Academy. How can I be absent from such group activities? Bai Piao shrugged, and gradually, justice seemed to shine on his body. Uncle G was speechless. Why did I accept such an apprentice? In fact, it is not easy to recruit 5,000 students who are above the 3-star sanctuary realm in the Guangming Academy. Those who are willing to go are just a few. Although the benefit of killing the god race cultivators is very high, compared with life, no amount of star cores has any attraction. Of course, Bai Piao is a strange flower. He has no resistance to the star core. It is reckoned that if he was given 100,000 star cores, he would be able to stab himself. In Guangming Academy, there are voices of prevarication everywhere. Even if you advertise those Protoss cultivators with a sacred stone on their heads and a spring of life hanging around their waists, it's useless. The fear of danger makes them retreat again and again. At least in terms of posture, it looks like this. Seeing that the agreed evening departure time was approaching, the 5,000 students hadn't made up half of it. This is a bit unreasonable. Of the 500 tutors, only about 300 were recruited. Anyway, there is a lot of vacancies. For those students, it is completely possible to find excuses to shirk. The instructors are not willing to go, so what should we do? The teachers don't have to die, but shall we die? Our lives are so cheap. Is that the case? For those mentors, their excuses are even more. What to take responsibility to teach the students can't get away. Why do you need to retreat and practice, and you will soon sprint to a new realm? Why has been in the teaching position for so many years, and the combat effectiveness has been completely abandoned? To put it bluntly, I just don't want to go to the battlefield. At the beginning, Shui Wanren, the deputy head of the Guangming Academy, hoped that everyone would actively participate, which was also a very good expectation for him. But in the end, that's it? Play with hammer. The mentality directly followed the blood collapse. The rest of those who have or don't have to worry about it? Snort. Don't tell me about this difficulty and that difficulty. Who doesn't have any difficulties? It's not an excuse. Let you volunteer. If you don't volunteer, then there is no way. Let's draw lots. Gather those who don't want to go, and draw lots. From the mentors, to the students. What? Don't want to? Hee hee. Since you are still in Guangming Academy, you have to listen to the arrangements. If you don't want to, please leave Guangming Academy first. If not, you can only listen to me. Accuse me. Who to sue me? Master. Where is the palace master? Can they find it? Fancy bells and whistles. In Guangming Academy, with Shui Wanren's full support, those mentors and students who wanted to curl up were also pulled out. Guangming Academy is in trouble, and every student and instructor is responsible. Want to hum up? That is naturally impossible. This road doesn't work at all. It's really difficult to do something about it. The sense of bells and whistles in it was immediately strengthened in an all-round way. In terms of feeling, it gathers in an all-round way. They all go. There are almost 100 people here. Are you sure? Teacher, these should be your guards, they keep calling you Lord Lord. Good boy, you put all these people under my command and became my apprentices. Co-authoring means attracting eyes and ears. Speaking of which, what realm do these exist? I can't feel any spiritual fluctuations in them. Uncle G glanced at the top 10 legions, the 6 heroes, and Nai Yan, and the curiosity on his face was beyond words. Forward. The soldiers of the top 10 legions are all 8-star peak sanctuary realm. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3503. In this regard, Fang Fan had nothing to hide. Anyway, isn't that the thing? It's good to be clear. In front of Taishiji, Fang Fan didn't bother to hide. All 8-star peak sanctuary. Good on. How did they pass the freshman assessment without causing a sensation? Did you hide your cultivation at the beginning? Grand Uncle G shook his hand, and subconsciously raised his eyebrows at this moment. The whole person was in absolute horror. My apprentices are all bosses. I hummed up. The impact of this feeling is really too strong. The 8-star peak sanctuary is second only to the Saint. It's almost the quasi-sage realm. There are hundreds of quasi-sages, and their realms are still so unified. Uncle G is very curious about how this is cultivated. At this moment, on the forehead, black lines flashed indefinitely. This training mode is absolutely perfect. As a master, I am not as capable of teaching as an apprentice. That's it? Is there a feeling of slap in the face inexplicably? This state of mind gradually drifted away. The more I think about it, the more something is wrong, and the more I think about it, the more shocking I get. Forehead. Maybe. Anyway, it's just been fooled. Master, they are all joining the battle array this time, is it okay? It's just good for me to do some military exploits or something. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows. In fact, he simply fell in love with the storage rings of those Protoss practitioners. Divine stone fragments. Fountain of life. These can be equated to star cores. With such an opportunity in front of him, Fang Fan naturally couldn't let it go. Not only won't let it go, but will do everything in its power to catch it. For others, it is a very difficult thing for the cultivators of the god of war, but Fang Fan enjoys it. Both go. Of course it's okay, your old father-in-law is getting angry because of the lack of quotas. If hundreds of quasi-sage level students suddenly come, I'm afraid I'll be excited in minutes. 8-star Peak Sanctuary, this can be a second level tutor in Guangming Academy. The quality of your guard team is indeed too high. Even the average combat power of those mentors has been crushed. Where did you get such a unified and loyal guard? Everyone is so strong. And I have seen their battles, each with its own characteristics. Could it be that you are the inheritor of some hidden ancient clan who came out to practice? Tai Shiji frowned, and while talking, his eyes couldn't help but wandered. Now Fang Fan's identity gradually has some doubts. A third-class sanctuary, even if it breaks the sanctuary, it will definitely not be able to cultivate so many evildoers. If there are one or two of them, it can be said to be evildoers, but if they appear on a large scale, what is this? That's why the sanctuary has become enchanted. Master, you think too much. Master, don't you have a lot of things over there? Don't you still have to deal with the expedition? Go now. Fang Fan shook his head and sighed helplessly. This problem can be stopped abruptly. Anyway, there was no result in the end. Go out to fight against the gods, the opportunity to make money, take good care of it. However, under the premise of making money, we need to focus on the risks. The damage should not be too great. Supply cards and healing cards should be sufficient. Besides, I've also collected a few good cards recently. Especially when we swept thousands of city guards before, we dropped a lot of high-level cards. Holy Lord Flame card, after casting, a high-level Holy Flame will land, which can directly bomb the designated 1000*1000 M range. Holy Venerable Star Core Gun card, after opening it, you will get a mid-level Holy Venerable Star Core Gun. With the Star Core as the main energy source, it is the strongest bullet that can release the power of a mid-level Holy Venerable. Holy Lord Blood Sea card, after opening, a sea of blood can be cast. In the sea of blood, the combat power of the designated enemy creatures will be reduced by 1 level, and last for 10 minutes. For Fang Fan, it has been a long time since he played a card battle. But this does not mean that he gave up the card. On the contrary, cards have always been his strongest trump card. These 3 holy cards are carefully selected. Needless to say, the Saint level Flame card and the Holy level Blood Sea card are both large-scale attack cards, and they have unique effects on such a large-scale battlefield. As for the Saint level Star Core Sharpshooter card, it's a weapon card. I used to have a gun before, but it was just because the enemies I was fighting with became stronger and stronger, and that gun was no longer needed. Fang Fan held the Holy Star level Star Core Sharpshooter card in his hand, no longer hesitated, and used it directly. Ding! Congratulations on getting the Star Core gun. Item, Star Core gun. Level, Intermediate Saint level. Characteristics, Long-range sniper, quick melee. Remarks, you can use the weapon upgrade card to upgrade. This gun is actually dual purpose. Long-range combat becomes a sniper rifle. Short-range combat becomes a bursting rifle. It's interesting. Fang Fan nodded silently, and the smile on his face increased. Immediately, holding the Star Core Sharpshooter in his hand, he fired a shot into the air. Ding! Insufficient energy. Fang Fan. Fang Fan reloaded and put 10 top-grade Star Cores into the energy groove of the Star Core gun. As long as the Star Cores are put in, the Star Cores will turn into a thick and pure energy and enter the Star Core gun. Shot. Invisibly, it looks quite unique. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and couldn't help showing a very interested look on his face. Keep filling. 20 high-grade Star Cores. 30. 50. 100 pieces. Ding. Successfully synthesized a Star Core bullet. Ding. The Star Core Sharpshooter can synthesize up to 100 bullets at one time. Do you want to continue the synthesis? When the system prompt sounded, Fang Fan fell into deep thought. What's so special about this thing is the gold-swallowing beast. A bullet needs 100 high-grade star cores to synthesize. 100 bullets require 10,000 high-grade star cores to synthesize. In this case, this star core sharpshooter will be fed. Then what? After a few chugs, it's gone? After 100 bullets from this shuttle are fired, there will be 10,000 high-grade star cores. Who can afford it? A quasi-demigod level golden armored puppet battle consumes 10,000 high-grade star cores for 1 minute. Although Fang Fan has been cheating, but if this goes on, the cheating is really unbearable. Tens of thousands of high-grade star cores are consumed at every turn. Who can afford it? Fang Fan raised his hand, originally wanting to test the power of the star core gun, but finally gave up. Good steel should be used on steel blades. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3504. For now, it's not that luxurious. After all, it is still poor after all. There are simply too many gaps in this area. Right now I have a headache. He sighed silently, not knowing what to say. In the evening, the team from Guangming Academy finally assembled. After all, there is a coercive order from the Deputy Palace Master Shui Wanren. If you are not willing to sign up voluntarily, then you will have to implement the coercive policy in the end. In terms of feeling, it seems very real. With 500 instructors and 5,000 students, the team is still impressive. Shui Wanren, as the leader of the team, stepped onto the high platform again at this moment, preparing for a wave of pre-war mobilization. I am very pleased. It's really gratifying. Although there have been some small episodes in the middle, it is obvious that there is no problem compared to our overall situation. My Guangming Academy still has so many passionate young students and iron-blooded mentors. This battle, light will win. Those who hold salaries for everyone should not let them freeze to death in the snow. Although most of you joined the team voluntarily, Guangming Academy will never pretend to be ignorant of your contributions on the battlefield. For students and mentors who have performed well on the battlefield, they should be promoted. They should be promoted. There is no doubt about it. Okay. Now I will divide you into 5 teams. Each team has 100 students and 100 mentors. In this case, 5 small captains are needed. The captain of the first team, I will personally take command. The captain of the second team is Wu Meiling, the deputy head of the palace. The captain of the third team, Dean Gao Song. The captain of the fourth team, Tai Shijia, will be the mentor. Fang Fan is the captain of the fifth team. When the announcement came, there were bursts of sighs from the surroundings. Good guy. This wave directly shocked to the extreme. Is this true? Playing with a hammer? That's it? Why do you feel that you don't understand something? The sense of bells and whistles is still strengthening. There is nothing wrong with the first 4 captains, even Tai Shijia, who is also a super tutor of Guangming Academy, and he is also at the top of the Holy Realm, and his combat power is comparable to that of a demigod. But what happened to the captain of the 5th team? Can this also be messed indirectly? That's it? Can't you just relax a little bit? Listen, I really don't understand. The sense of rhythm is a bit strange. The 4 team captains in front are all, but they are all Dean, Deputy Palace Master, Special Level Tutors, etc. Why, how come that Fang Fan also has this qualification? Isn't he just a first-year student? How long has he been in our Guangming Academy? That's it? No. Absolutely. You don't know that Fang Fan is the son-in-law of Vice Palace Master Shui, and also the apprentice of undead mentor Tai Shuji. Tisk, you should be clear about this. This good guy, before, I really didn't control it before. So you're still a related household? Damn it. Can this kid do it? Don't trap us to death then. My CAO, why the hell do I feel so empty? I feel that the situation is not right, something will happen. Actually, this Fang Fan isn't that bad, isn't he? This big brother Fang Fan can even fight the young city lord. It is said that he just prepared the two arms of the young city lord CAO man. Rumors. They are all rumors. It's just rumors. I can testify to this, it's true, I was there at the time, the scene was so exciting. Hiss, I can't say it, it's just, crazy. Wipe, so violently. Speaking of which, it's really careless. Heh. This guy even hits the young city lord, which shows that he does things completely regardless of the consequences. That's it, do you dare to follow? Aren't you afraid of being hammered to death? Hey, the situation is too bad, calm down. There are endless complaints and exclamations. The scene suddenly became commotion. Basically, they were talking about Fang Fan's role as the captain of the fifth team. In fact, Fang Fan at this moment also seemed a little confused. He didn't quite understand how this person fell into his hands. He doesn't have the idea to command thousands of troops, it's meaningless, he just wants to manage the top 10 legions and heroes under his command. The rest is out of my control. No. Absolutely not. Snort. It's just a brat. Why should you be the captain of the fifth team? Deputy Palace Master Shui. Do you think this arrangement is reasonable? Is there really no one in my Guangming Academy? Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, still had a dark face, and her teeth were chattering crazily at this moment. Hateful. Damn it. This wave of mentality can't hold back. A brat can be the captain, and she is also the vice president of the Priest Academy after all, and she is also the supreme saint, so why can she only become an ordinary pawn? Before she was belittled, she was still the dean of the Priest Academy. In Guangming Academy, she, Fu Jing, is considered a respectable figure, right? Then what? It became what it is now? What do you mean? Are you so polite? Oh shit. What the hell do you want to do? Hateful. Hateful to the extreme. It's not bad if this mentality doesn't follow the blood collapse. Rubbish. It's all rubbish. Everyone, be quiet. Shui Wanren narrowed his eyes and looked around indifferently. From his point of view, he could actually think of the current scene long ago. But so what? There is no need to think about it at all, just stabilize your mentality in an all-round way. Deputy President Fu Jing means, do you have a better candidate? You can recommend it to the Deputy Palace Master. Shui Wanren's aura directly pressed him, and Fu Jing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, trembled, and immediately dodged his eyes. Of course I have a better candidate. I recommend myself. Why can't I be the captain of the fifth team? In terms of combat power, I will crush him. In terms of qualifications, let alone. Talk about tactics, what kind of tactics does a brat have? To be honest, I don't want to be the team leader, I just don't think everyone's lives can be ignored. Bring them out of Guangming Academy, and you should bring them all back. Otherwise it would be unfair to use them. This is absolutely impossible. Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, held her head high, looking particularly confident. Although this self-recommendation caused a lot of laughter, for many people, what Fu Jing said still made sense. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3505. In Guangming Academy, qualifications and cultivation are still very important. If Cao Man, the son of the city lord, offends your army, would you dare to kill him? Shui Wanren asked directly. I. Fu Jing was speechless. It's hard to say what to say. He. Needless to say, your expression has already told me, you dare not. But what I want to tell you is that Fang Fan dares. As a team leader, the most important thing is courage and courage. In this regard, you are not as good as him. Fang Fan once cut off the arms of Cao Man, the son of the city lord, to avoid the city guards who wanted to besiege my Guangming Academy. Is this record enough? Fang Fan once directly killed Heifu, the blood descendant of the master of the Dark Academy, and won glory for my bright academy. Is this military medal hard enough? Fang Fan swept all the enemies in the Swifu College exchange competition, won the first place in the first-year exchange competition for my Guangming Academy, and took the infinite opportunity for our Guangming camp to gain a foothold in the territory of the Divine Land. Does he have the qualifications? As for the tactics, you've been stuck in the academy all day and haven't even seen blood. Where did you get the tactics? Shui Wanren has always spoken directly. Straightforward, sometimes it can really piss people off directly. That's what I said, but can you be a little more restrained? Fu Jing, vice president of the Priest Academy, trembled her lips, her complexion had already turned black. Hateful. Damn it. It's clear, why is he deliberately targeting her? No matter, anyway, my combat power is stronger than him. Fu Jinghong focused her eyes, she had to refute something at this moment. Oh. It is precisely because of this that I plan to let you serve as the deputy captain of the 5th team, under Fang Fan's jurisdiction, so that you can better display your infinite combat power. Shui Wanren nodded, speaking seriously. Fu Jing. What's the situation? To mess around, but to get myself into it? This, how can you play with this F***ck? My mentality exploded. My brain is cracked. Various languages, unable to speak. Nothing, play chicken. Fu Jing wanted to say something more, but Shui Wanren's sharp eyes swept over her and blocked her words directly. This matter, let's do it. This deputy palace master believes in his own eyesight. The war is in full swing. Don't be bound by these small details at a time like this. The whole army, let's go. Each team, restrain your own team members. This time is to fight against the Protoss invaders. It's not a drill. It's not a deliberately arranged training. The battle situation ahead is very chaotic. If you are not careful, you may die on the spot. I hope you are mentally prepared. If you have any mental burden, deal with it now. The worst result of choosing to escape from the team now is nothing more than expulsion from Guangming Academy. But if you don't obey orders and flee when you are on the battlefield, don't blame the deputy palace master for the military law. I hope you all know. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, rose into the air, and immediately issued a series of military orders. While speaking, thoughts followed in full swing, everything around seemed to be completely cut. The battle spewed out like a cloud, with an extremely strong sense of oppression. The imperceptibly oppressed person was out of breath. The road ahead is destined to be paved with bloodstones. The crowd began to clamor for the gate of Baikan City. Boss. Well developed. You have become the squad leader. Tisk. Wouldn't it be you who will be responsible for all the head-to-head battles of the 5th team? Boss, I will definitely help you later, so just leave this trivial matter to me. Cough, that's all, boss, don't worry about anything, it's not a big problem, it's better than anything else. Hey. Bai Piao rubbed his hands, the excitement on his face was beyond words. Is there anything unclear about this guy's little thought? Just don't be too real. You can even dress up a little bit. Is it really good to be so straightforward? Don't talk to me about these things. Stay well in the team. If you let me know what happened, I will send you back in minutes. When you're on the battlefield, don't mess around. Although your defense is not bad, I always feel that these Protoss people are not so easy to deal with. Speaking of which, aren't you well informed? Tell me about the origins of these Protoss people. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and then couldn't help looking at Bai Piao. He was also curious about this. I have heard several versions, all of which are well-founded, but in fact they are all castles in the air, and there is no substantive basis at all. To put it bluntly, it is nothing, meaningless. This. Forid. Isn't this land divine land? So this place used to be a piece of land in the domain of the gods, or, simply, the kingdom of some true god. As for those so-called God clan people, they are most likely subjects of a certain true god kingdom. Maybe this place originally belonged to a fallen true god. Bai Piao frowned, and while talking, couldn't help sighing from the side. While speaking, his eyes flickered, his thoughts rushed to the end, and his expression changed especially sincerely. Subjects of the kingdom of God. Fang Fan nodded silently. This is definitely possible. In this way, these Protoss people are indeed involved to a certain extent with the true God. Since this was originally the kingdom of God of a certain true God, something must have happened to this true God, and it is very likely that he fell, otherwise his kingdom of God is unlikely to fall here. Reminiscent of the disaster god's underground palace that I encountered in the real God's cave. Perhaps, this is the kingdom of God of disaster. Fang Fan's eyes lit up, and the more he thought about it, the more he realized that it was possible. Then Fang Fan directly summoned the god of Viewer. Tell me honestly, do you know the origin of this divine land territory? Fang Fan lowered his voice and asked directly. This. I don't know. The god of Doer controlled the purple-red flame to scurry away, and while he was talking, his face showed a look of astonishment. From every point of view, it is indeed quite surprising. It's just, different. Aren't you a subordinate god of the disaster god? Whether this is the kingdom of the god of disaster, you should know, right? Fang Fan frowned, and then began to fully trace the source. Forid. I don't know about this. The god of Viewer said honestly. Master, when I was actually locked into the Calamity God's underground palace, nothing changed outside. The Calamity God was fine at the time. But I don't know how many thousands of years have passed. Things are different and people are different, they have changed a long time ago. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3506. The God of Viewer sighed helplessly. Looking at it from every angle, it looks extraordinarily confused. I can't feel its presence anymore. I'm so confused. So you don't know anything. What's the use of you? Fang Fan curled his lips and couldn't help complaining. Master, I'm still useful. In case I meet believers who once believed in me, I can make them belong to the Master. The God of Viewer nodded, and his words seemed rather flattering. Your followers. You said it yourself, you don't even know how many thousands of years you have been trapped in the disaster god's underground palace. Before that, you might have had some pious believers, but because the past is too long, these traces may have been wiped away little by little. Forget it, let's talk about it later. Fang Fan shrugged, then pouted his lips and said. If it's superfluous, I won't say more, it's nothing. It's really useless to think so much. At this moment, just calm down a bit. The rest of those who have nothing to care about. It's okay if it breaks down a bit. Fang Fan's eyes scanned the surroundings unconsciously, and found that Fu Jing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, was striding over. His face looked very bad, and his face was as black as carbon water. Glancing at it, I feel inexplicably wonderful. Don't think that you are invincible just because you have the support of the Deputy Palace Master and Grand Uncle G. Fifth team, we must follow my instructions uniformly in the future. You are still young, you don't understand many things, and you can't grasp. In this case, let me give you a little more confidence. In this way, you will not take a detour. What I want to say is probably these. I hope you understand. In every way, that's what happened. Fu Jing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, held her head high and held her chest high. That's what she called it, Tsundere. Fang Fan. Twitch. I don't know what to say. Oh. So Vice Captain Fu Jing is preparing to seize power. Stand up for me. Talk to me in the future, and bring the title. This is in the army. There are no rules at all. Anyway, he's also a vice captain, so he doesn't know how to set an example. Fang Fan snorted coldly, his face gradually became solemn. Between a few words and a few words, they were already in the coldest manner. In fact, the relationship between Fang Fan and this Fu Jing has not been very good. From the first meeting, I have been in a state of hatred. At that time, Fang Fan beat one of her apprentices to death in the ring, and this incident was considered to be the root of disaster. Everything after that seems to be in rhythm. If Vice President Fu Jing speaks well, Fang Fan is naturally willing to cooperate sincerely with her for the sake of participating in the battle against the Protoss army. After all, this is also an extremely powerful Saint Venerable. It's just a pity that some people are just shameless. Pretend to be the same as 2.58 million. You, what did you say? I'm the Vice President of the Priest Academy. I am the Supreme Holy One. Ah. It is true that the Deputy Palace Master and Tai Shuja are covering you now, so you naturally don't feel any danger. But do you think they can really protect you forever? Ah. When we get to the battlefield, we fight on our own. At that time, how chaotic the picture will be, you should know. Do you think that if that time really comes, the Deputy Palace Master and Grand Uncle G will still be able to guard you so well? Don't forget, on the battlefield, swords have no eyes. Ah. It's not impossible to kill you at that time. You should know exactly what it will look like when the time comes. Your life is in my hands. Fu Jing sneered, her eyes flickering with a different kind of brilliance. In a few words, the whole person became turbulent and excited. The more you talk, the more arrogant you become. She felt that she had completely controlled Fang Fan. At this moment, Fang Fan didn't say a word, with a strange smile on his face from time to time, and a thoughtful expression on his face. In Fu Jing's eyes, all of this is a sign that Fang Fan is about to surrender and make concessions. Snapped. A loud slap sounded, and the surrounding air suddenly exploded. The audience was stunned. What's going on? The most confused person at the moment is actually Fu Jing, the dean of the Priest Academy. She stroked her left cheek, which was gradually turning red, and was completely stunned. She was beaten and slapped, and she was slapped by this kid. How dare he? Who is she? She is the vice president of the Priest Academy of Guangming Academy. The powerhouse of the Supreme Saint Realm. It's just a little bit worse than the demigod boss. In the Guangming Academy, she didn't say she was walking sideways, but it seemed to be almost the same, right? Except for the few deputy palace masters, she doesn't need to care about others. But it is her existence. Got slapped in public. More and more eyes are focused. CAO, Am I right? Fang Fan slapped Vice President Fu Jing just now. Gudong, this kind of Mijishi Tai can be slapped, awesome. Damn it. Boss Fang Fan is Boss Fang Fan, I'm really convinced. Strong. Too strong. This fight is so exciting. Gudong, it's hard to say, anyway, this situation is not right. This time, Vice President Fu Jing is humiliated, she will definitely not let it go, that Fang Fan is a bit reckless. Hey. It has nothing to do with us. Isn't it cool enough to watch a show before going out? That's right, we're just watching the show, what do we care about so much? What does it have to do with us? It's nothing. Hey hey hey. Thieves are so excited. The surrounding shouts increased, and the roar of excitement swept over the airs. The mentality is also in full swing. Exciting to the extreme. You are such a brave dog. Even the vice president dares to move. You wanna die? Go to hell. Fu Jing broke out. The cold face was full of anger, as if he was about to kill him directly. In front of me, kill my apprentice. Fu Jing. Did you give me face? Whoosh. A figure flew over, and at the same time, directly grabbed Fu Jing's hand. Uncle G kept a cold face and stood in front of Fang Fan for full protection. Didn't you see it just now? He slapped me. He must die. This matter, I can't pass it. In Guangming Academy, the following offenders must be severely punished. Fu Jing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, let out a furious roar, with great momentum, this wave is not willing to stop at all. There are still many mentors and students from the Priest Academy around here. What a shame. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3507. This old face is completely lost. How can this work? Just put up with it? Wouldn't that be the laughing stock of everyone? Fu Jing glared at Fang Fan. This guy must die. Even in my heart, I have already achieved such a wish. The more I think about it, the more excited I become, the more I think about it, the more excited I get. At this moment, it is no longer something that can be simply expressed in a few words, and the willpower of the whole person is bursting out in an all-round way. Stimulate. And true. But at the moment Tai Shuja was standing in the middle, even if she wanted to do something, she didn't dare. When Tai Shuja was still a high-level saint, she was no match for her cultivation level at the peak of the Holy Realm. What's more, Tai Shuji has now been promoted to the Supreme Saint. Forcible oppression, unlikely. But it is entirely possible to rely on my identity as the Vice President of the Priest Academy to directly force the two Deputy Palace Masters. The battle is imminent, in front of so many people, you can't just deal with it casually, right? In any case, we must come up with a charter for this matter. Vice Palace Master Shui. Vice Palace Master Wu. Aren't you going to keep quiet about this? Fang Fan's behavior is what you have been condoning. Now even the vice president dares to slap me at will, but I don't know what will happen in the future. If it exists like this, should we continue to indulge it? Humph. Such an existence is simply a cancer of our Guangming Academy. It should be cleaned up as soon as possible. Let him serve as the captain of the fifth team, which is to push the students and mentors of our fifth team into the abyss. The roar followed, and Fu Jing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, was in high spirits. While talking, the vicious look on his face grew more and more. At this moment, he clenched his fists tightly, and his breathing gradually became extremely rapid. The mentality is also in full swing. Everything in front of me will be completely terminated. Hateful. Hateful everything. The students and instructors of the nearby Priest Academy immediately became agitated, and they subconsciously sided with Fu Jing. Shui Wanren walked over from the front seat, frowning at the moment. Do something again. This kid. Why did you hit her? Vice President Fu Jing is also the veteran of our Guangming Academy. I asked her to be your vice captain, mainly because I hope that you can unite and cooperate, so that you can hit the Protoss as much as possible. But you, how did you become like this? Fang Fan. Speak clearly. Otherwise, the Deputy Palace Master will never forgive me lightly. Shui Wanren couldn't help but glared at Fang Fan, and sighed helplessly. She threatened to kill me. If you still stay here, with my master and the Deputy Palace Master around, she dare not do anything, but if it comes to the battlefield, the sword has no eyes, so she can assassinate me at will. In the 5th team, I am the captain, and she is the vice captain. A vice captain dares to provoke the captain like this. Isn't it the lowest level of punishment for me to slap her? According to the military regulations, should I kill her? What's the saying? Just to warn others. Fang Fan had a showdown. It's good to be clear about this matter. He didn't speak before because he was too lazy to say more. No matter how much you say before, it will only make others feel noisy. The last wave is a foregone conclusion, which is very good. After Fang Fan finished speaking, the faces nearby suddenly became extremely ugly. This. She almost forgot about it. She took it for granted that she should reprimand Fang Fan in her own capacity. How dare you make this matter public? Besides, it's hard to say this. There was a lot of discussion around. I didn't. No. I didn't mean that. Lying, he's lying. Damn boy. Is it so smooth to lie in front of so many people? Looking at it this way, I really underestimated you before. You kid is not an ordinary person at all. You kid must be rectified and rectified, otherwise the sky will be turned upside down. 2 Deputy Palace Masters. He's lying. For this kind of false accusation, there should be a canonical punishment, just kill him directly. Fu Jing's face showed a sinister look. Anyway, it has reached this point, just tear her face off. Besides, when she said those words just now, she was always behind her back. That is to say, other people don't know what happened at all. All aspects of the situation can be stabilized accordingly, needless to say, just stabilize all aspects. Be calm about your attitude. The rest is nothing. After all, that's about it. Very clear, very clear. Shui Wanren frowned, looking a little unhappy. He understood that Fang Fan was not the kind of person who liked to talk nonsense. Although this kid likes to do things, he always has his own reasons before doing everything. It must be this Fu Jing who said something nonsense before. It's just that if Fu Jing has been choosing to deny it now, there is no evidence. If there is no evidence, you all insist on your own opinion, just forget it. It's important to go on an expedition. Shui Wanren is ready to make a big deal into a small one. But how could Fu Jing be willing to do this? Her eyeballs immediately turned sideways, and her gnashing of teeth attitude was fully displayed. No. How can this matter be left alone? I got a slap in the face. My face, don't you want it? Even if you protect him, you can't kill him. I will slap him 100 times. Fu Jing, the vice president of the Priest Academy, was grinding her teeth, gasping for air incessantly through her nostrils, and her whole body was in a state of full-blown outburst. Mentality, completely collapsed. Ideas surged to the extreme. Oppression. Total oppression. This wave is unbearable. Absolutely can't bear it. Snort. The overall situation is the most important. Vice President Fu Jing, stop talking. Shui Wanren frowned, ready to forcefully suppress this matter. I also don't agree to just solve it in such a muddle. Fang Fan shrugged, then said calmly. Shui Wanren. What the hell is your kid trying to do? I'm going to take care of this soon, and you still want to do something? In the absence of evidence, you won't have the upper hand if you tell the sky. After all, no one else saw Fujing threatening you, but everyone saw you slap her in public. This is a muddled account. What on earth do you want, boy? Don't mess around. It's useless to say anything without evidence. Verbal complaints are useless, what is needed is substantive evidence. Shui Wanren hinted frantically. It means, don't talk if there is no convincing evidence. This will only complicate the situation. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3508. Forward. Actually, I used the memory spar to record the picture just now. Everyone might as well take a look. Fang Fan shrugged, and directly used his big move. The so-called memory spar is actually a high-end storage spar. After it is turned on, it can capture a specific picture, and then release it when needed. When Fang Fan opened the memory spar, a projection appeared in front of everyone's eyes, and the feeling of following the picture was particularly strong. What appeared in front of everyone was the scene of Fang Fan talking with Fujing just now. Fujing's threatening words suddenly came out. Do you think that if that time really comes, the Deputy Palace Master and Grand Uncle Ji will still be able to guard you so well? Don't forget, on the battlefield, swords have no eyes. Ah! It's not impossible to kill you at that time. Your life is in my hands. The words Fujing said were all heard by everyone through the memory spar. Matched with her expression, she was absolutely desperate. Everyone fell into a brief silence. No. No. It's not true. Forgery. This is clearly a forgery. Damn. Impossible. Absolutely impossible to become like this. There must be something tricky in it. Don't believe it. Don't believe it, everyone. Ah. Why? Why are you plotting revenge on me? You prepared this memory spar in advance, so you deliberately forced me to say that. Shameless. Shameless. Your scheming is too deep. I didn't expect you to be such a despicable and shameless person. Deputy Palace Master. Don't trust him. This kid is not a good guy, he planned all of this. Yes. He planned it. He must be severely punished. Deal with him. Fujing, the dean of the Priest Academy, trembled her lips, and her eyes gradually turned blood red as she spoke. Slowly, his complexion became extremely ugly. The mentality is also in a sudden burst. Collapsed. It's all broken. It's nothing. Play chicken. Fujing could already clearly feel that many people were pointing at her. Ah! This solid evidence directly oppressed her to the bottom. In this way, it is very likely that I will not be able to turn over. Hey, it's so solid, do you still want to plant it? Looking at Vice President Fujing's vicious look, I thought it was just his appearance, but I didn't expect his heart to be so vicious. You still want to fight on the battlefield, damn it? I'm convinced. This guy wants to assassinate Boss Fang Fan. There are many problems in it. Among them, I feel a little weird for no reason. Damn it, she's not a spy from the dark camp, is she? The reason is to kill the favored son of our light camp. It's not impossible. Hey, I was on her side just now. That's it? Still be the vice president of our priest academy of Guangming Academy. Strict investigation. Thorough investigation. Oh. I guess it's because of jealousy, because she didn't become the captain, but Fang Fan became the captain, so naturally I feel uncomfortable. You still have to be careful when you come into contact with this kind of person in the future. If you are not careful, you will be killed by thorns. There are different opinions. Basically, they are complaining about Fujing. The facts are clear. Memory Spar has been able to prove everything. As for the others, do they matter? In minutes, it ended directly, and it was nothing. Mentally, be more stable, no need to say much. So it was you who framed my apprentice. Anyway, you are such an adult, how can you play such dirty tricks? In the past, I just felt that you were not comfortable looking at me. I didn't expect that your temperament is so bad. You still want to use this method to fight against my apprentice. Hateful. If you are like this, you should be completely banned. Taishaji frowned, his temper came up in an instant. While talking, his face couldn't help but become ugly, and then he strode forward, ready to have a big fight with this Fujing. This is so, I can't stand it at all. Mentally, comprehensive oppression. Facing the aggressive Taishuja, Fujing on the side wanted to be tough, but in the end she couldn't help but retreat. Really, can't be strong. The oppressive feeling directly swept over his whole body. Deep inside, there was a sudden sense of fatigue. The other ones are not there, so naturally there is no need to say more. I am tired, really tired. Vice President Fujing, what else do you have to say? Irrefutable proof. As the Vice President of the Priest Academy, your morals are so corrupt. Shui Wanren's face was cold, and a savage look flickered in his eyes. At this time, naturally, we can't just pass by like this. I have nothing to say now. You won't believe me. This time, I've been bullied. Fang Fan is tricking me. Hee hee. Winner and loser. From your expressions, I can already know my fate. Really, I actually have nothing to say, I just feel a little bleak. Why, did it evolve into this? Isn't all of this a joke? Jokes come and go, and all this has been achieved. I, Fujing, have been shrewd all my life. I didn't expect to capsize in this small gutter. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ridiculous. How ridiculous. After all, isn't that what happened? Fujing, Vice President of the Priest Academy, looked a little crazy. Crazy, I don't know what she is talking about. Anyway, it feels weird. Just, nothing. In this state, it's hard to say. If this is not the time for the expedition, according to the rules of Guangming Academy, you should have been expelled from Guangming Academy. But now it's time to face the god of war. You are also a supreme saint. When the time comes to face the cultivators of the war god clan, you will be the vanguard. If you have made military exploits on the battlefield, maybe you can stay in Guangming Academy, if not. A fierce light flickered in Shui Wanren's eyes. Fang Fan is his son-in-law. His son-in-law was being coerced, did he really feel nothing in his heart? When the time is right, it is necessary to burst out in an all-round way. This feeling can be remembered. It is more than words. Who knows what will happen in the future? It is still unknown what will happen in the world at that time. Let me be the vanguard. I won't do it. Big deal, I'll just leave Guangming Academy. I don't want to stay in this broken place. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 3509. Fujing sneered, her face indifferent. If she hadn't completely torn her face before, she was really reluctant to leave Guangming Academy. Because here is stable and safe, and the social status is still high, and the level of practitioners that can be contacted is also high. All in all, this is a rare golden job, which can help her have a higher status in the Temple of the Alliance of Light. But now that it has reached this point, the deputy dean will definitely not be able to do it anymore. Will he be an ordinary tutor in the future? Moreover, he offended the deputy palace master, and his future prospects are bleak. That being the case, there is nothing to be attached to in Guangming Academy. If you want to leave now, I'm afraid it's too late. Shui Wanren sneered indifferently, while talking, the corners of his mouth crazily raised. That's it? Nothing. Play. Keep playing. Continue to make noise. A little late. What's the meaning? Could it be possible to kill me? No. Didn't you say that you'd spare me? Exactly, what do you want to do? Could it be possible to kill me? I only have an employment relationship with Guangming Academy. You don't have the qualifications to kill me. Fu Jing held her head high, she felt that she could do it again. I said it before. Before the expedition, I can't stop you from leaving the team. I can only let you leave Guangming Academy. These are also your freedoms. I don't care, and I don't want to. But after the expedition, you are a member of the army. If you still want to do something at this time, you will have to deal with it by military law. If you leave the army without my order, you are a deserter. To deal with deserters, they must be killed. Shui Wanren sneered indifferently, and as soon as he said a word, the momentum of the whole body exploded. This time the words are in place, and they swept directly. You are shameless. You are shameless. How can it be like this? Is it okay for me to leave Guangming Academy? I will no longer be a member of Guangming Academy. What right do you have to restrain me? Fu Jing's hair exploded in an instant, she gritted her teeth, her complexion looked very ugly, and her breathing gradually became extremely rapid. Why? Because of me, I am still the deputy head of Guangming Academy, and because of me, I am the commander-in-chief of this Guangming Academy's school army. With my military law, you can choose to defect, and you can try it properly to see if I can kill you in an instant. It's all about trying. If you don't try, how will you know the result? Aren't you going to regret it then? Shui Wanren raised his eyebrows, and then said in a serious manner, with a hint of excitement gradually appearing on his face. It's as if that's the case. Fu Jing. Play. Are you a demigod or a weak demigod existence? I am a supreme saint. How can I escape? Isn't this to die? There is a saying how to say, Guangong is playing big swords in front of the gate? Nothing. No. Don't bring such a bully. Call. Vice Palace Master Wu, you, speak for me. We are all women, you should defend me. Deputy Palace Master Wu, back then, you still studied and practiced in my priest academy. Fu Jing, vice president of the priest academy, gritted her teeth and started looking for foreign aid. She didn't want to go to the Protoss battlefield, because she knew very well that there were many dangers. It was already a dangerous state before, isn't it even more so now? Now that he offended Shui Wanren, he asked himself to be the vanguard. Is this pioneer so good? Isn't the high probability that it's just colder than this? With such a life and death crisis ahead, how could he not repay the debt? He. Yes. Back then you were the headmaster of the priest academy. Well, after so many years, you have become the vice president of the priest academy. Of course, it's another matter whether the position of the deputy dean can be kept now. Wu Meiling, deputy head of Guangming Academy, shrugged, then said calmly. These words pierced directly into Fu Jing's heart like a knife. This is getting more and more back. Hateful. It's all because of these nasty bastards. Otherwise, how would it become what it is now? But right now, it is still necessary to show pity and win some sympathy. Fu Jing continued to look at Wu Meiling obsequiously. Don't look at me, we have nothing to do. When I was practicing in the priest academy, you didn't find fault with me. I remember that there was a descendant of a saint in the temple who was also practicing there. Once I just injured the descendant of the saint in a fight, and you imprisoned me for 3 full years. Do you think I've forgotten all these things? I'm just too lazy to say it, don't think I have a bad memory. Wu Meiling spoke quickly, and as soon as she uttered a word, she immediately silenced the people nearby. The past of the past appeared in front of my eyes, and now I naturally regret it. But it was too late to repent now. At this time, it can be seen that her popularity is really not good, and no one intercedes with her at all. Vice Palace Master Shui. I really don't want to be a pioneer. To put it mildly, it's a pioneer. To put it mildly, isn't that just cannon fodder? If I become cannon fodder, I will definitely die. I have seen how powerful the Protoss is. I don't want to continue to see. That's terrible. Deputy Palace Master. Just because I have served Guangming Academy for so many years, please forgive me this time. For so many years, I have no credit for this, but I still have hard work, right? Guangming Academy can't treat meritorious ministers like this. I have shed blood for Guangming Academy. Fu Jing gritted her teeth and wanted to make a final struggle. But as it turned out, she was completely meaningless. If it's not for the sake of your contribution to Guangming Academy, I will kill you right now. How come you still don't understand? I'm giving you this chance because I hope you can correct it. Think about it, if you are a vanguard on the battlefield, it will definitely be easier to make military exploits. In this way, these deeds of yours can be wiped clean by your dazzling military exploits. Although the death rate is a bit high, it's nothing compared to the harvest. Shui Wanren waved his hand with a kind smile on his face. Fang Fan almost laughed out loud. This deputy palace master is really gaudy. If you want to cheat people, you can cheat people, the words are so high-sounding. Act like a savior. This picture is very strong. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3510. Fu Jing wriggled her lips, she was really about to cry. Can you stop being so intimidating? People's mentality is about to explode. How can it be like this? Damn it! Fu Jing swallowed her saliva, and wanted to leave now, but Shui Wanren stared at her covetously, she had no choice. This path has long been terminated. Difficult, too difficult. Mentality, blood collapsed. There is no charter for what to do next. Thoughts gathered in my heart, inexplicably wanting to sigh. These words cannot be simply expressed in a few words. Invisibly, it is particularly complicated. I didn't expect her to capsize here. Now that there is no way out, other than death, the only thing left is to surrender. I see. Just do what you say. It doesn't matter, anyway, I don't care. Fu Jing had a concerned look on her face, looking very out of place. This Fu Jing was a dangerous element to Fang Fan, so Shui Wanren naturally did not dare to put her by Fang Fan's side. Let her follow me. If there is a suitable opportunity, I will let her play the vanguard. Wu Meiling, deputy head of the Guangming Academy, smiled, and her gaze was particularly calm when she spoke. Well, this is the best. Vice Palace Master Wu, you and Fu Jing are both women, so it will be more convenient for you to talk. Remind her well and let her make meritorious deeds. Shui Wanren nodded, and then reminded. Fu Jing's complexion suddenly turned pale. Thinking of the past between her and Wu Meiling, she immediately despaired. As Wu Meiling said before, she ordered Wu Meiling to be imprisoned for 3 years in order to curry favor with the descendants of the saints. Since Wu Meiling said it just now, it is obvious that she is still worried about this matter. In other words, this has always been in mind. Thinking about it this way, Many things began to have logic. Deputy Palace Master Shui, can I change to another team? Cannot. Fu Jing's last hope was ended. Everything goes without saying. An end, and maybe a new beginning. Feeling like this is very clear and real. Don't say much, don't talk too much, just understand. Everyone came to the north gate of Guangming God City. At this moment, the 500,000 city guards of Guangming God City have gathered. In the entire Guangming God City, the number of city guards is less than 1 million, but now it seems that more than half of the city guards are going to rush to help, which is considered a very strong force. In addition, almost all the elite city guards were transferred over. Deputy Palace Master Shui. Vice Palace Master Wu. You are finally here. Everything is ready to go. Why? I really hope that the crisis in the God City of the 7th Academy can be resolved immediately. Thanks to everyone from Guangming Academy for their generous help. If not, relying on our city guards, I'm afraid there will be many dangers. Cao Tang, the Lord of Guangming God City, said expectantly. There are a lot of good things to say. All I can say is, it sounds really fancy. In a few words, they all expressed the surging and excited meaning in their hearts. For the characters in these scenes, it seems very common to say these words. Master Cao Tang, you don't have to be polite. I don't need to say much about the rest. Things have come to this point, so let's go. If you have anything to say, let's talk on the road. Shui Wanren hurriedly said that he had already lost a lot of time on the road just now, and there was no longer any delay. For it. This. I won't go here. Let Commander Xia Xiaotian follow you all. This time, I have handed over the right to dispatch the city guards to Commander Xia Xiaotian. What's the matter, you can discuss it? The city lord Cao Tang nodded, then hurriedly said. This is clearly the rhythm of wanting to get away. The inside and outside of the words are too aggressive. Aren't you going? What do you mean? Shui Wanren was stunned for a moment, he really didn't expect that Cao Tang would come to this. This expedition was arranged by you, and it was also you who ran to the city lord's mansion to invite them to join the expedition. Now that the expedition is approaching, do this for me? Against the Protoss, the more masters the better, this is the main premise. Doing things under this major premise will appear real. As for the other ones that have nothing, they are nothing, and no one pays attention to them. Deputy Palace Master Shui, it's not like you don't know that there are really too many things in my city lord's mansion. Why? I really want to go, but recently, the city lord's mansion has become busy again. Deputy Palace Master Shui, you don't work in the city lord's mansion, you have no idea how complicated it is to mix all kinds of messy things in a city. What's more, our bright God city has just been established. In this way, there will be more messy things. After all, I am the city lord of Guangming God City. You said that these things, can I just let it go? If I really let it go, it will be really messed up. Furthermore, from time to time, there will be some Protoss wandering around our Guangming Academy to fight the autumn wind. This danger is still there. I still need to plan in advance in the Guangming God City to fight against those scattered Protoss cultivators. As the city lord of Guangming God City, it is my responsibility to protect the environment and the people after all. Hey, these things are too complicated. If the God City of the 7th Academy really can't support it in case of an emergency, I can still prepare in advance here. In this way, we can better protect the interests of our light camp. Only in this way can we maximize our benefits and live up to the expectations and encouragement of His Majesty the Pope. The Lord of the city, Cao Tang, is eloquent. Once this chatter is opened, it can't be stopped immediately. Boo boo, really endless. The sense of this picture is simply not too strong. After feeling it a little bit, the mentality immediately collapsed. What the hell, playing with chickens? That's it? What else to do? Nothing. Inside and outside the words, the situation is so complicated that it explodes. Reach out and don't hit the smiling face. But Shui Wanren really wanted to hit someone now. Oh shit. What the hell is this? Putting greed for life and fear of death in such a high-sounding way? That's it? Nothing. Isn't it because they are afraid of fighting against the strong demigods of the God of War clan? Aren't you worried about being injured or killed by then? To put it bluntly, he also wanted to defend the Bright God City by rushing to help the God City of the 7th Academy, so that the Bright God City would not be in danger. But, I don't want to put myself in a dangerous situation. Standing again and again, shameless to the extreme.